In a NewsNation exclusive, our crews joining Texas state troopers on the border in an area that is a hotspot for cartel smuggling of people and drugs. Texas's DPS says that while migrant encounters are down in a state, smuggling activities continue to see a rise. Officials say cutting-edge technology is turning the tide, however. NewsNation's Jorge Ventura joining us live now. Jorge, how are authorities in this area working right now to stop those smuggling attempts?
Well, Marni, as you mentioned, the migrant encounters are down, but the smuggling activity has really seen an uptick, especially here in the Rio Grande Valley where we are now. Now, we got the chance to be embedded with Texas state troopers. This is in Roma, Texas, so this is an area that's a hotbed for criminal activity. And right across from us, we can actually see cartel scouts on the Mexican side patrolling the border on foot, in vehicles, also using drones, monitoring the movements of Border Patrol agents and Texas state troopers. They are looking for weak points. Migrants, and they were using small rafts to get across the Rio Grande. Here we see Texas State Trooper Guadalupe Cáceres deploying his drone right into the air to begin monitoring any potential smuggling activity along the banks of the Rio Grande. And while we were with him shortly after deploying that drone, Cáceres did spot a cartel scout in the bushes who just crossed the river and is now outside. You're looking at that scout now. You can see he's wearing like a camouflage shirt, trying to blend into the bushes. Now, the guide here was actually looking for U.S. authorities to make sure the migrants that he's about to smuggle are able to make it into the U.S. without being caught. These individuals are looking to completely evade law enforcement authorities. He has no idea, though, that the eye in the sky is watching his every move. Once he believes the coast is clear, the cartel guide goes right back to the banks of the Rio Grande. He then brings up two migrants up from those bushes, and they are going to make a run into that residential neighborhood right on the border in Roma, Texas. The migrants also believe they just made it into the U.S. undetected. You can see there they're making that run right into the residential neighborhood. They don't spot any law enforcement authorities, so they believe they got away. And now, as for the smuggler, he believes that his job is finished, right? Delivered the migrants, no arrests, but troopers were monitoring his every movement, and the drones actually were able to communicate that information right back to Border Patrol agents on the ground patrolling nearby, and that's when we saw the pursuit was right. I did notice a Border Patrol their way. They try to make a run away from it into the bushes. You can see there the Border Patrol truck pulling up. And as we were there, Border Patrol agents did rush to the scene. They did arrest a female migrant. Now, several other agents did jump into the bushes attempting on the cartel guide and a male migrant who are making a run for it. We did notice the guide and one of the migrants can be seen jumping into that raft as you're seeing now. They were actually paddling right back to the Mexican side. They were actually waiting for them as another cartel scout. Now, that was a close call for that migrant and that cartel scout who did escape arrest just closely. But for the female migrant, she wasn't so lucky. She was quickly arrested by agents with the help of Texas DPS drones. Authorities were successful in stopping these individuals from arriving at a potential stash house or a vehicle waiting for them on the American side. Here is Texas State Trooper Cáceres.
They had the rafter bringing them across along with the guide. The guide literally makes it to U.S. soil, and he's walking up and down, checking to see if there's any law enforcement in the area for a couple minutes. And then he literally goes back once it's clear and starts bringing his people that he's trying to cross. So it's an overall operation for them on their side.
Now, Cáceres telling NewsNation that Texas DPS drones, which are equipped with heat sensors, play a crucial role in deterring and stopping human smuggling on the borders, all working in coordination with U.S. Border Patrol troops on the ground.
He escorted them to the area in the neighborhood. They ran through the neighborhood, and that's when we were able to relay, our drone operators were able to relay to U.S. Border Patrol, and they were able to intercept those two bodies.
And we really got that firsthand look on how Texas DPS drones are working in cooperation with Border Patrol agents. Both authorities do tell me that now with migrant encounters down, they're able to focus on that enforcement and stopping those smuggling operations right there on the border in Roma, Texas, Marni.
And one challenge for Texas DPS, or hey, the cartel scouts apparently stealing surveillance cameras on the border. How often is this happening?
So according to Texas DPS troopers, they're seeing an uptick in the stealing of surveillance cameras. So these surveillance cameras are placed in these very strategic areas along the border, remote areas where there is an uptick in smuggling. That when individuals do cross illegally in these areas, those cameras do set off an alert where troopers then could be deployed right into those exact locations to make arrests. And right now what you're looking at is a few photos of a couple of cartel scouts. So the cartel scouts cross right into the U.S. They steal these surveillance cameras and cross right back to Mexico. These cameras are important when it comes to securing the border for troopers.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.